morning and welcome to the VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner. It's the 29th of July and I'm still down in Cornwall. Ollie's up in London and it's big boys. FTSE 100 stocks really are reporting today. So Ollie, you better start with two of the big ones, Rio Tinto and Glencore.
Yep. Rio with first half results, Glencore production numbers, and First Quantum also with their Q2s. Some pretty big numbers coming out of Rio. It's all driven by the copper division where EBITDA is up something like 80%. The group EBITDA rose 28% year on year to $14.8 billion. Free cash flow increased 75% to $3.8 billion. Copper production was only up 3%, so that was really driven by higher copper prices. Iron ore obviously contributed as well. Production there was up 6%. That was already known. The dividend increased 43% year on year to 211 US cents per share. So the total was 3.4 billion, a 50% payout ratio. Net debt was down 2% to $14 billion. Production and cost guidance were unchanged. Obviously, there is quite a big benefit in there from byproducts like gold, and that contributed to copper C1 unit cost being negative. But clearly, the momentum is all with copper prices.
Yeah, as you say, there's some big moves there. The market obviously was expecting it, but it still likes it. Stock's up 129p first thing this morning, which is just shy of up 2%. So well done, Rio. Let's do Glencore.
Just production numbers here. Copper was up 15% year on year, so take that as an indication for results coming out. That was mostly from their African copper division and from higher grades at Antamina, so that should feed through to stronger earnings from Antamina in particular. Cobalt was down quite a long way, 46% year on year, but that would have been expected because that was linked to the export quota regime in the DRC. Zinc and lead were down quite a way, 21% year on year and 8% year on year respectively. Nickel also down 2% year on year. And unlike the other majors where higher gold byproduct credits have been a massive help to fighting cost inflation, gold production was actually down 44% year on year. Coal production also lower. So a bit of a mixed bag outside of copper, but given how significant prices are, that might offset quite a lot of the earnings impact from lower metal production elsewhere.
As you say, that the theme this morning probably is copper. Glencore, though, the market did like those figures a lot. They're up 23p first thing this morning, which is about 4.5%. So a nice move by Glencore there. All right, First Quantum Minerals, which is over on the TSX, but still a monster.
Their copper production and sort of numbers from their operating assets looking pretty good. Revenue up 24% year on year to 1.5 billion. Gross profit was up Q on Q, but it was down 15% year on year, and that is because although the core African assets are doing relatively well, Cobre Panama care and maintenance costs are a bit of a drag on those profit centres. So that is what's holding up performance year on year on a net income basis.
Yeah, okay. That's sort of the big ones. Any of the smaller ones you want to quickly mention, Ollie?
EQ, we've talked about quite a lot. They are following some of their peers, exploring a US listing. They obviously have US shareholders, off-takers, although none of their assets are there. There is clearly a lot of tungsten interest in the US.
Yeah, and I mean, the big advantage they have is they've got very healthy production, and so they can actually supply the underlying metal. For what it's worth, we've also had Premier African Minerals, probably their monthly sort of fundraise, shall we say. But what is extraordinary, Ollie? I mean, an issue of 4 billion shares and they raised £550,000. You do wonder how many shares are going to end up in issue with this company. It's a shame because the Zulu lithium project, which I've actually visited, is very interesting. And of course, they do have the RHA tungsten project sitting there ready to go, which, if you're interested in tungsten, is probably not valued at anything in the share price there. One day somebody will come and buy it and actually make something of it. But unfortunately, I'm not sure if Premier African shareholders will, how much they'll benefit from it. But there you go. Anything else, Ollie?
I think that's it.
In which case, we'll call it a day there, and we will be back. We'll be back tomorrow, although it may not be myself. Maybe if we go early, because obviously I'm off to see the drill rig down at Tamar Minerals, but we'll just see. Thanks, Ollie.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.